Yo, man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Mickal, aka Messi Napper Boy. Today's video, man, we got the many murders of Lil Durk. You guys know me, hit that like button, subscribe, and share, man. Run on to 2K subs. Let's get into it. Hopefully this works now. Let's get into it.
Rapper Lil Durk was at the pinnacle of his career. One of the leading pioneers of drill music, the violent modern incarnation of gangster rap.
And guys, this right here will be part one. So yeah, every part will be coming out every day.
Over the course of his 14-year career, he'd released a series of mixtapes and albums that cemented his place as one of the most influential and impactful gangster.
So you're saying, y'all sit back, relax, get y'all popcorn, get y'all food ready, and watch this documentary with me. It's about 4 hours long, so yeah.
Rappers in history, and earning him the nickname The Voice. Over those years, he racked up 4 Grammy nominations, finally winning one in 2024 for his inspirational hit song All My Life with fellow rap megastar J. Cole. The song went double platinum, selling 2 million copies by the end of 2023, an uplifting anthem for the streets. It included an infectious hook where Durk claimed that all his life, people had been trying to hold him down. He rapped that they never thought he would make it out, but they couldn't take him and they couldn't break him. In his verse, he admonished the media for calling him a menace and using his past against him. He rapped about sitting down with the mayor of Chicago and politicians in an effort to change his image. Durk had presented himself as a misunderstood and falsely persecuted artist who was trying to provide a positive message to the downtrodden community he'd emerged from. But it would turn out that this may well have been one big facade, as the world would soon find out the dark reality behind Durk's music was much worse than anyone could have ever imagined. As on October the 24th, 2024, rap fans around the world would get news of a bombshell allegation as federal prosecutors would announce that they had charged 5 people connected to Lil Durk's OTF record label and rap group with the murder of a young man named Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab, the cousin of rival.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people knew that this was Lil Durk and them. Allegedly, people. I mean, we don't know yet, but where would the cops come with, or even if the cops can't even come with information saying, you know, saying is months to come. We don't know if Lil Durk gonna get it or not. Who knows? Probably not. This might be like the young thug type of trial where it took a year or two, some years, and then you're saying thug got out. I don't know if it's gonna be like that, but we don't know. Then still more information coming through it. You know, saying now even Quando Rondo are serving 5 years and all that. So young boys not getting out till 2026. You know what I'm saying? All these rapper people listen to, they going to jail because they're still trying to preserve this gangster. I get it because they still got ops, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Rapper Quando Rondo, who had been brutally shot to death 2 years earlier at a gas station in Los Angeles, with Pab's death and the chilling aftermath caught on camera and broadcast on the news for the whole world to see.
New details tonight in a deadly shooting near the Beverly Center. We've learned the victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders move the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. A scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors flung open. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
The details and footage of this disturbing murder would be seen and read.
The thing is, how they know they're right? Like, did they get some intel in LA or something? See, the thing is, do we really know it was Lil Durk and the crew? It could have been an LA crew too. You never know. It could be an LA crew too. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Who really knows, bro? Who really knows?
All around the world. But not only was it a brutal hit, carried out in broad daylight with no regards for the safety of the public, but it took place next to one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city, the Beverly Center shopping mall. A brazen murder that ironically bared the hallmarks of a similar murder carried out in Chicago 2 years prior, where another rap rival of Lil Durk's, FBG Duck, was gunned down by a group of 6 men, with that crime also being caught on surveillance footage in its entirety. Once again in broad daylight in a busy tourist hotspot, a high-end fashion district with the murder happening right outside the Dolce & Gabbana store.
Well, Rob, Chicago police tell me that these 3 victims were targeted, that 4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing. Lights, sirens, and crime scene taking over one of Chicago's most notable streets. Word is spreading on social media that the 26-year-old man pronounced dead is a well-known Chicago rapper.
To see this happen in the middle of the day is very, very disturbing.
And just like in the murder of Lil Pab, FBG Duck was left.
I mean, it is, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in a busy shopping center, or mall, whatever you call it. It's in like a nice area. You just never, see, the thing is, yeah, you just never know what can happen at any time, anywhere. You just never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? In this world, bro, you know what I'm saying? It just, stuff is just so unpredictable that, you know what I'm saying, you just can't see it happening. You can't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? That just sucks in this evil world that we all live in, man. You know what I'm saying? As humans, we turn on each other, this and that, for some money, backdoor people for some food, you know what I'm saying? Money, this and that, jewelry, cars, money, house, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, us humans, we make the world so bad, that the world is so negative, that humans will literally turn on anybody. And also, people, they call it, like, you gotta watch people close to you. Your friends, they know you, they know your advantages, and they know your weaknesses. They be the people in your circle be the main ones that can set you up. That's why best friends are friends. You still gotta watch. You still gotta watch, because at the end of the day, people are gonna do what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? They might slime you out. That's why you gotta stand on your P's and Q's and watch your surroundings and who you hanging around with and who you with. You know what I'm saying? Because your best friend or friends, whatever, could be jealous of what you have, saying what you got going in your life, and they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? They want to see you down and see you hurt because they're down there. You know what I'm saying? Feel me?
To die in the middle of the street, traumatizing innocent members of the public, one of whom was even put in the crossfire.
Hey, y'all, what's going on? I'm here. I'm in the Gold Coast. I'm in the Gold Coast right now. Yeah, man, I was just riding my bike, y'all. I'm just riding my bike. Man, they shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man.
But interestingly, all of the men who were involved in the murder of FBG Duck were found guilty of murder, despite the fact that for over a year while the case was being built, they seemingly ran free, expecting no consequences and incriminating themselves extensively. Some of those people involved in the murder were dead by the time the FBI swooped in and delivered justice, and many of those involved were close friends of Lil Durk himself. One of those convicted, Marcus Smart, known in the streets and on songs as Moo-Wop, was a very close friend of Durk's, even being seen on flights with Durk, flexing wads of cash shortly before his arrest and posing for pictures, calling himself Gangster Killer.
Hello. What that is? I gotta get on that.
See, the one thing is, nowadays, you can't be a gangster and still be in the streets. You can't be a rapper and still be in the streets and going back and forth. You gotta pick one. You either gonna be in the streets, or you're gonna be a rapper and leave the streets alone. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when these people be in the streets that become rappers, they can't say, you can't take the hood out of the person, you know what I'm saying? You can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of it, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we got Durk locked up. You got Quando locked up. You got Youngboy locked up. You got C-Day locked up. You got Run Number 9 locked up. And if King Von was alive, King Von will be locked up too. Because remember from, it's you know what I'm saying?
You got the most views. Let's see that. You got the most views.
Saying you had Young Thug was locked up. He's free. You still have YNW Melly still locked up. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of these rappers, you know what I'm saying, that they be rapping what they be doing, and they be sitting there rapping about who getting shot, the killings they doing. They sitting there self-snitching on themselves to where the feds, it makes the feds job easier because they can link it from the lyrics. Boom, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know?
Gangsta Killer. Take him on. Gangsta Killer.
All of this isn't a good look for Durk. But the most important piece of the puzzle is another infamous figure in the Chicago gangland, as well as its buzzing drill music scene.
King
Infamous
Von.
Black Disciple
Tell
member
you.
and apparent leader of the O-Block faction of the gang, King Von. Allegedly, Von had orchestrated the murder of Duck and put a six-figure bounty on his head prior to the murder. But this wasn't Von's first time taking a life in Chicago. Von had allegedly killed 7 people in the gang war between the Black Disciples and the Gangster Disciples in Chicago, something that I broke down in detail in a 3-hour documentary on my channel where I actually argued that he indeed met the FBI's definition of a serial killer. Somehow, Von always managed to evade justice, either beating his murder charges in court due to lack of evidence or not being charged at all due to the fact that his murders were usually committed in the dead of night in the slums of Southside Chicago, rather than the broad daylight assassinations that his friends would later carry out in front of the public. King Von was one of Lil Durk's best friends, and when Von beat his last murder charge at the end of 2017, he decided to follow in Lil Durk's footsteps, becoming a drill rapper too and openly rapping about the many murders he'd allegedly committed. Von's raps, openly bragging about real murders he'd apparently committed, made him a star in drill music, and with Lil Durk's help and guidance, he quickly became the most buzzing gangster rapper in drill music. But in his heart, Von was still a violent thug, and his tendencies to commit brazen violence would begin to impact Durk's career. In 2019, Von and Durk, along with 2 other people, would be accused of attempted murder and armed robbery, with the 2 appearing.
You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why Chief Keef, you know what I'm saying, is not around Lil Durk and not around King Von when he was alive, saying Chief got his own people in California doing his own thing, streaming, you know what I'm saying, still performing. He's still making money. See, I feel like Chief Keef is the only like mature and smart one that did his music and got out and stayed out of the streets. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chief Keef don't diss no more. You know what I'm saying? He make music, he don't diss no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, and then, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? When you do music, you get out the hood, and then whoever's there with you, you take them with you. Saying she got his GBE crew, you know what I'm saying, with his crew with Tato and them. He good. People in Chicago still mad at Chief Keef because they help him out, this and that. Chief Keef, this saying don't owe them nothing. You understand? All these street people and these gangs, bro, do you understand that, bro? If you go to jail right now, if you go to jail for about 15 years, after a couple years, they're not gonna care about you no more. They're not gonna show. They're not gonna show for you. Then they're not gonna put it on your books. They're not gonna call you. They're not gonna do nothing. They're gonna say, "Power, fuck your baby moms," and trying to tell you, the streets is not loyal. The streets are not loyal, and Chief Keef knew that. That's how Chief Keef did his music, got the hood, and he's not in Chicago no more. He's not in Chicago no more. You know what I'm saying?
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, and his co-defendant Devon Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
Interestingly, Durk looked stressed and nervous in court, while Von looked comfortable and in a familiar domain. Durk and Von would refer to themselves over the years as the Evil Twins, and in one song titled Evil Twins, they referred to themselves as that and went back and forth, repeating, "If you do it, I'ma do it," even saying "go hop out the car and do it." Clearly Von was a dark and negative influence on Lil Durk and his career. Von was in the habit of doing real crimes and rapping about them in his music without a care for who heard it. And if Von did it, then Durk would begin doing it too. But unfortunately for the Evil Twins, Von would suddenly die in November 2020 after launching an unprovoked beating on the rapper Quando Rondo in front of an Atlanta hookah lounge. Sometimes in life, every action has a reaction, and the reaction from this beating resulted in one of Quando's friends, Lil Tim, jumping out of the car, opening fire, and killing King Von. Ironically, Von, the demonic killer turned rapper who had seemingly murdered 7 people in Chicago and got away with it, ended up getting shot dead after starting a fistfight with a rapper rather than in a shootout with gangsters. His feud with Quando Rondo started on the internet rather than in the streets, off the back of a back and forth.
I'll be honest, bro. The beef between King Von, like the beef between OTF and NBA YoungBoy's crew is just stupid, bro. Like if you really think about it, bro, they said this all started over a female. Like, bro, just imagine if this side of a female. What happened if there's still good today? Kevon possibly he probably locked up. We'll probably have Quando Ronda making music with Lil Durk. Probably Lil Durk making music with Young Boy. Cause remember before this beef right here. Now people are saying Kevon could have started this shit. You know what I'm saying? But before the beef started, you know what I'm saying? Lil Durk, Kevon, it's all of them right here. This NBA Young Boy 14K crew. They was cool at one point. Remember, Kevon and Quando Ronda was you seen together. You seen Quando Ronda talking about fuck too, cause this and that. They was all cool at one point. Just imagine if we got a song with Lil Durk and Young Boy, Kevon and Quando. You know what I'm saying? Now there probably is songs, but it's probably in the vote where you know what I'm saying they're just not gonna release it because it's saying niggas is beefing and shit. So you know what I'm saying?
Close friend and label mate NBA Youngboy, who seemingly didn't want to proceed with a collaboration with King Von. This was followed by a petty back and forth where Von took pictures with the mother of Youngboy's child. Von essentially died over nothing more than an internet back and forth with a rapper, turned fight, turned self-defense shootout, and in the end, he was no longer here to face the music for the murders that he'd done and arranged. But after King Von died, Lil Durk was still running free. And interestingly, after Von's death, Durk was able to make a maneuver and have the attempted murder and armed robbery charges he caught with Von miraculously dropped. The sudden and tragic death of King Von meant that Lil Durk had a second chance to escape the cycle of violence and focus on his music career. But despite his promising rap career, it would seem that the death of his evil twin, King Von, consumed Lil Durk. And in the midst of the killing of one of Chicago's most dangerous rappers, who seemingly always got revenge for any of his friends that were killed, a dark trend would emerge, where fans would goad Lil Durk, begging him to get revenge or slide for Von, with rival rappers like 6ix9ine even mocking Durk openly and asking why he hasn't avenged his friend, ultimately showing off the infamous text that said slide for Von in blood. And
bro, this nigga 6ix9ine is just trolling. He just doing this because he knows it's gonna get views and they're gonna respond. That's he just doing that.
Music video for his song Gine, and rapping that his friend got shot and he just made music about it, taunting Durk, telling him to get a gun and go and get some get back, and saying that he knew he wouldn't ride out and get revenge for his friend on his own. Clearly, all of this trolling struck a nerve with Lil Durk, and not only did Durk lose Von, but over the years, he's lost over 30 friends to street violence, up to the point where fans have speculated that he's actually cursed, as I broke down in another video on the topic. And not only did Lil Durk lose Von in 2020, but in 2021, his beloved blood brother D-Thang was also murdered at a Chicago nightclub in another incident that was seemingly gang-related. Now, just being completely honest, I can't imagine being in that situation. I haven't lost a friend or relative to murder the same way that Durk has, and who knows how the average person would react under this sort of pressure and grief. But ultimately, Lil Durk should have focused on his music career, the success that he was having, and continuing to provide for his family and the people who relied on him. But it would seem that his apparent desire to slide and get revenge was actually stronger than his desire to chase money, success, and security for his loved ones. As he famously rapped on the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy with Babyface Ray, he would rather get revenge than get millions. And he would seemingly know his fate long before the murders happened when he rapped on his song Redman that when people ask him where he think he'll be in 10 years, he replies, in federal custody. Ultimately, 2 years after Lil Pab was murdered,
He said on the Reddit, man, 10 years in the feds. Where's Lil Durk now? Locked up. Oh my
claim in
gosh.
black and white
That's
that this
crazy.
murder was allegedly a get back for the killing of King Von. But this wasn't a surprise to anyone who'd been paying attention, as within months of the murder of Lil Pab, Lil Durk and others close to him would begin to claim openly in music and on podcasts that Lil Durk had indeed slid for Von.
Oh, they did something. Oh, slide for him, slide for him. Oh, you. Oh, yeah, slide for Von, right? Yeah.
What are you talking about? By the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, cause of no.
For some reason I just don't see the comments no more. Some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
You can't say that no more.
Oh, cause of FBG Cash? Oh.
Just don't say. I don't get why do these rappers do these interviews and I don't get why, bro. Especially that Brick Baby. Brick Baby is a main reason why, you know what I'm saying, this, if I'm being honest. I don't get why they do these interviews knowing You know what I'm saying? They gonna ask these type of questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. I don't get why they're doing that.
Yeah, though. We different in Iraq. Nah, cause Lil Pop. I feel like you troll like that. Oh, I never troll him. He had be up to that. Yeah, already. You're not condoning more violence.
What? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
But it wasn't just interviews. In fact, just 4 months after the murder, Lil Durk and his OTF rap collective and label released a project titled Loyal Bros 2. And while many people missed it at the time, this entire project was wall-to-wall with jaw-dropping self-incrimination, not just from Durk, but his friends and label mates. In fact, when the indictment dropped, reports would soon begin to spread of an unidentified co-conspirator who had allegedly organized this murder and offered lucrative music opportunities to the other suspects. It could very well be the case that Lil Durk had actually offered his subordinates verses and feature opportunities in exchange for carrying out real murders. Unfortunately now, Lil Durk is charged with murder for hire in the case of Lil Pab, but the dark truth is, this very well may just be the tip of the iceberg. And ever since the paperwork dropped, there's been intense speculation as to whether this was a one-off incident, or had Durk actually spent several years using his power, status, and money to have numerous enemies murdered before rapping about it in front of the whole world for everyone to hear. The fact is, there's a total of 6 high-profile murders that Lil Durk is rumored to have orchestrated. So today,
the one with FPG Cash, I don't think about FPG Cash. I don't think about that either. FPG Cash was set up because some of these murders, some of these probably not even on Lil Durk. They're probably trying to get him for the Lil Pab one, and probably getting revenge for his brother D thing. The Duck one, maybe, I don't know, unless somebody snitches. FPG Cash, no, I don't know. Lil Pab, maybe. I feel like they don't really have evidence, but they're trying to wait for somebody to snitch. You know what I'm saying, to put something on, you know what I'm saying, on Durk. This might be like the Young Thug type of case where it take like 2 years and then it's just you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna drop.
hey, we're gonna be taking
Not drop, but it probably put like Lil Durk on probation or something like that.
a closer look at those cases to try and work out once and for all whether Lil Durk was really the mastermind behind this series of gruesome murders.
Chicago, Illinois, man. Lil Durk, Inglewood area, whole city, man. I'm saying we out here rapping, doing our thing. I got a big boy.
LA Capone, man.
I'm just a young 17 years old.
Tell me a little bit about Inglewood.
You know, of now, with all the murders and all that happening right now.
I mean, Newski. Y'all, it's really sad from both sides. Really think about it. From both sides, from the BDs and GDs and the people, Lil Durk and Chief Keef and Lil Reese and them from FPG Duck and Lil Jojo with KI. Like, both sides lost people that's meaningful. And if there is a lot today, the music will be good between from both sides. Because you could have had LA Capone, C-Day, Round Number 9. On the GDs, you could have had Lil Jojo, FPG Duck. There's people from both sides that have passed away from gun violence. And if we think about it like, damn, what if they were still alive today? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about from everybody, even from Tuka, like Lil Jojo. Like, sometimes I think about, damn, like, what if if everybody was still alive today? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get why us African Americans are sitting there killing each other. We are not each other's enemies. You know what I'm saying? I need some water bad, but we are not each other's enemies. Once we wake up and realize that we are not each other's enemies, maybe it can change, but I don't see it changing because people with pride and ego is just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
They left his ass right here. One of the other interviews, you said that your dad was caught with like $8 million, 6 bricks.
Yeah. That's why I want to be just like him.
So, Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk, It brings me great honor and pleasure as the mayor of the village of Broadview to present this key.
What made you want to sign him?
Monster.
You got a name.
King Von, V-O-N.
King Von.
K-I-N-G.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Because he got a whole story behind him.
And so on behalf of the village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city, to Durk Banks Neighborhood Heroes. This key is a token of our appreciation for your collaboration and partnership.
On the road again, back on the road again. We catch you, you through. We catch you, you through.
Mr. Rapper accused in a shooting outside of the varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
I have nothing to add.
Duck was a threat, gang, with the music, for real, for real. He's gonna be a problem inside this industry for
There
us.
goes the snitch.
We're gonna be forced to hit it. We're gonna be forced.
4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing.
Also, FBG Duck was next up. He was next up. He was literally next up.
Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck, shot.
No, they got 63rd. Some dirty.
If we into it, we into it for real. Like, not no faking to it. If we into it, we. I don't know. Because they be thinking, yeah, it's a lot of faking to it going on. But if we into it, you say we into it, you better, I swear to God.
Dante Banks was killed when he was shot in the head. Banks is the older brother of locally known rapper Lil Durk.
So we thank you and we honor you and we appreciate you being in the village of Broadview, and here's your key.
Durk was embroiled in some eternal, I need you off of this earth beef. That's different.
Because of King Von?
Of course. Not only that, he needed the guys who killed his brother off this earth.
Because I forgave my brother killer, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through. And I hope y'all make it out.
See, bro, right here, Durk should have listened to him. Durk should have listened to Wallow. He should have. See, sometimes, bro, when OGs are telling us stuff, we have to listen. You say sometimes OG come on, we're like, man, we ain't trying to hear all that bullshit, bro. Like Durk, I'm trying to tell you, Durk should listen. I get it. You gotta forget, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, Wallow forgave his brother's killer. I think Wallow said what he did, 30 years? I don't know how people even do 10 years, 15 years like that, bro. 30 years is crazy.
Y'all make it out, man.
And see, right there, Durk, he didn't listen.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning. He raps under the name FBG Cash.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk could be linked to a second murder-for-hire plot. The images of the gunman who shot and killed Stephon Mack in 2022. Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder-for-hire plot.
I read it. I don't know. Might be the water.
You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Boone. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
I know that we did it.
If he is convicted, Durk could spend the rest of his life in prison.
Lil Durk, real name.
Yo, y'all, man, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Hey, man, this way get started. Y'all know what's up. Stop playing.
And Durk Devontae Banks was born on October the 19th, 1992. According to his mother, LaShonda Woodard, who has written a memoir about her life, Durk, or Tay as his mother called him, shorthand for Devontae, was a problem child from early on who just couldn't stay still and was always getting into trouble. Durk and his 2 older siblings, his big brother Booney, better known as OTF D-Thang, and his big sister, Tuta, were not planned children, but rather, as his mother explains in her memoir, she would barely even know Durk's father when she would get pregnant unexpectedly with her oldest child D-Thang while they were both still in high school. And even after that, while Durk's father, Dante Banks, aka Big Durk, would help to provide for her and the kids, they were never officially together as a couple, even as she kept becoming pregnant due to failing to use contraception. And to make matters harder, Big Durk would end up getting locked up on serious charges when Lil Durk was only about 7 months old, as he would get busted for a major drug dealing operation in 1993, allegedly operating under the Gangster Disciple Nation, or GDN, and even having ties to the infamous founder of the gang himself, Mr. Larry Hoover, whom Big Durk would allegedly refuse to snitch on, ultimately winding up getting himself a life sentence that he would serve for over 2 decades, before successfully appealing his sentence and getting released in 2019, something which I discussed in detail in a deep dive video about the man, which you can go and watch if you want the full story on Big Durk. But anyway, Lil Durk and his family would spend his first years living in his grandmother's house and his mother's childhood home in the infamous Inglewood neighborhood, an address that would later become famous, being the name of his 7th studio album, the 7220 South Halsted Street. The family would get another addition in 1997 when Durk's mother gave birth to his younger sister, Tania. Sometime after that, the family would move to a Section 8 3-bedroom house on Laughlin Street. As a young schoolboy, Lil Durk would attend the Guggenheim Elementary School, located on 72nd and Morgan, a school which district officials would call the worst elementary school in Illinois in 2012 when the school was eventually closed due to its poor performance. According to his mother, Durk was so out of control as a child that she literally couldn't work because of how often she would be called to the school due to his bad behavior. At only 9 years old, Durk would apparently even attempt to rob a Harold's chicken with his mother's gun that he had somehow found, with their neighbor actually then appearing at the family's front door holding Durk from his collar in one hand whilst holding the gun that they had taken from Durk in the other. Around the same age, Durk would also begin often fighting at school and stealing bikes, hiding them in the family's basement so that his mother wouldn't find them. But in his younger years, Durk was also very athletic, and he would be involved in the Jesse White Tumblers, an acrobatics program in Chicago, as well as playing basketball in his school's team. But unfortunately, both hobbies required him to keep up good grades at school in order to participate, which would ultimately take him away from sports altogether. Now, in order to get help with raising a young Lil Durk, his mother would eventually move back to live with Durk's grandmother at 7220 Halsted. But as Durk...
I really feel like once you grow up in the hood and all you see is just gang violence, drugs, you see people getting, you know, saying knocked off and this and that, that's what you're going to attract you. Because also, you know, saying when you go into school, you know what I'm saying, you got kids throwing up their set saying BD, GD, fuck this set, fuck that set, you know what I'm saying, BDK, you know what I'm saying, GDK, whatever it was, that's all you're going to see. And then you're going to be a habit to your environment and you get sucked in to where that's all you know and that's what you like. You know what I'm saying?
Would later explain to Complex this would do little to steer him away from trouble, and it was around this age that he would truly begin to get sucked into the street life.
72nd and Halsted, house I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? My grandma's house. This is where it all started at. You know what I'm saying?
I remember seeing this episode. It's a good episode. If you guys have never watched it, go look it up. It's a good episode, man.
Just the rap, the whole stop going to school. That's what we basically hopped out the streets. We came in.
We grew up in a 3-bedroom house, really 2. My grandma kept a room to herself. These things at the couch. I had the floor in the back. It just came from nothing, you know what I'm saying? It came from one house, like 10 people. Even days the lights was off. Nah, the worst memories of the motherfucker not eating shit. That's the worst you can go. You really survive enough rice and toast, stuff like that. Starve not eating at night.
This house gave me intelligence, you know what I'm saying? It showed me to be a man, you know what I'm saying? Nobody won't think about make it out of here.
During his adolescence, Durk would become affiliated with 2 gangs from his neighborhood in Inglewood, Lamron and D-Town. Lamron would rep the streets between 62nd and 65th, with their main corner being on 64th and Normal Avenue. The name of the set, Lamron, in fact being normal, spelled backwards. But many members of Lamron would also rep the name OTF, which is now known to mean Only the Family. But OTF might not have always referred to Only the Family, as Durk's label is now known, because some have suggested that it actually originally stood for Only Trey Folks, a reference to the membership of the gang being made up exclusively of Black Disciples, a historic Chicago gang whose hand sign depicts them making a 3, or the Treys, a hand sign that was famously depicted on fellow BD drill rapper Chief Keef's Bang 3 mixtape. The first mentions of this OTF name on Facebook appear to be from around 2010, which is likely why the feds are now also tracing OTF's founding back to that specific year. D-Town, on the other hand, was located directly north of Lamron, their main streets being 59th and 61st. These 2 sets were seemingly extremely close to each other, and they would both rep the number 300, with 3, as I've already mentioned, being an important number for the BDs or Black Disciples that both sets were indeed affiliated with. Together, the 2 sets would go under the umbrella name DTLR 600, the number 600 coming from literally adding the 2 300s together. Lamron and D-Town would also be very close with several other majority BD sets from the south side of Chicago, such as the now infamous Wick City, aka O-Block, located in the notorious Parkway Gardens housing projects known for rappers like Chief Keef and King Von, as well as TYMB, Blackgate, a crew known particularly for the rapper SD from Chief Keef's Glory Boys, Dipset, aka Front Street, known best for the late rapper Fredo Santana, Dogpound, which is Durk's big brother D-Thang's gang set, as can be seen in this massive chain that he had made in the honor of the 72nd Street that the set hails from. There's also AMG, also known as Mac Block, or the Avenue, aka the Ave. There's Lowlife, and the much more famous 600 set from the Washington Park neighborhood, known for rappers like E-Day.
Bro, E-Day passed away. Rondo locked up for 39 years. El Capone gone.
Rondo number 9, and the late LA Capone. Lamron and D-Town were also close with a set called Bang Bang Gang, or BBG, as can be seen from this picture in 2010, where Durk himself is portrayed together with this set's name, or in this 2010 music video where Durk and Lil Reese shout out the set. In fact, one of the main members of Durk's OTF crew, Booney Mo, is allegedly from this majority black P-Stone set that reps 79th Street, particularly 79th and Damon, sometimes going by the name 227, as well as an older name, Terradome. This set would gain an infamous reputation in the 2010s due to their long war with the GD set called Kill Award, which in 2015 led to a highly publicized murder of a 9-year-old boy named Tyshawn Lee, whose father was an alleged member of the Kill Award gang. Kill Award is interestingly also known for being King Von's original hood before he would move to Parkway Gardens, or O Block.
Right now I'm in an area called Kill Award. This is where I grew up at. I went to grammar school on 6th and Walcott, like kindergarten or 8th grade. It's the area, so this played a big part of my life. I grew up being bad, gang banging around here.
But as Durk was getting increasingly into the street life, he would also
trying to tell you, bro. When you see that in your environment, that's what you're going to attract to. Unless you're really good at a sport, and you stick to that, or the people around you make sure you stick to the basketball aspect or the football aspect. Saying how D Rose, you know what I'm saying, he knows some GDs, but the people around him, he was on track with the basketball, you know what I'm saying?
also begin his high school studies, first attending Percy Julian High School, located in the far south side of Chicago. But due to the long commute, he would soon transfer to the infamous Paul Robeson High School in Inglewood, another school that has since been closed due to its poor performance, and a school which many legendary people from the Chicago drill scene would attend in the early 2010s around the same time as Durk, including people like the late rapper Lil Jojo, who's from the Brick Squad set from 69th and Eggleston, their hood being located right next to that school, and this set having had a long-lasting beef with Lamron, D-Town, and other BD majority sets from around Englewood. The rapper Famous Dex also attended Robeson, Dex being from a GD set called Mo, or MOE, located in a large GD stronghold, a neighborhood referred to as No Love City, which would also beef heavily with Lamron and D-Town. The late rapper Lil Mister would also attend Robeson, even getting an opportunity to perform his drill anthems at the school. Lil Mister was from a set called Wooga World on 75th and Stewart, the set being very closely affiliated with Brick Squad and therefore also rivals to Lamron and D-Town. As Durk's mother would recall in her memoir, Robeson had numerous rival gangs that would bring far more problems to Lil Durk's young life. And over time, he and his friends would begin to get into increasingly violent encounters with the gangs that they didn't get along with. Eventually, these beefs and schoolyard fights would escalate into shootings and killings, with one of the first major losses on Durk's side being a 17-year-old called Lil Mo. Real name Terrence Hollins, he would be gunned down in Lamron's hood in July of 2009, and according to online rumors, Mo was killed by a member of No Love City called Tone Bone, but the facts regarding this case remain vague. In 2020, rapper Brick Youngster would rap in his song Let's Talk Part 2, OTF diss, that Lil Mo was actually killed by friends of King Von, but it's not clear what friends he's specifically referring to. But in any case, Mo's death was clearly a major turning point for Lamron and D-Town, and they would pay tribute to him religiously. Durk, who had been getting into rapping around this time, would even make a tribute song to his fallen friend, this seemingly being one of the first of his old songs that can still be found on the internet. With Durk rapping to the classic beat from Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane's song We Be Steady Mobbin', Durk was clearly influenced by Lil Wayne's rapping style, and he was also seemingly into freestyling all of his lyrics on the spot. Now, the song is a far cry from the Durk drill anthems that he would produce just a few years later, but by its subject matter, the song was quite clearly a precursor to drill music as we know it today, as Durk would not only shout out other BD sets, such as Dog Pound and the Ave, but he would also diss numerous rival sets, including No Love City, Brick Squad, and somewhat surprisingly, also a set called Brick City, who were an older generation from the same hood as 600, a group of OTF allies from Washington Park, who would not long after become very close with Lamron and particularly Lil Durk personally. Similar set repping can actually be heard in Durk's other alleged 2009 song called My Partner Them, this song being a remix of the Atlanta rap crew Rich Kid's 2009 song My Partner Them. And again, Durk can be heard shouting out sets like Lamron, D-Town, Young Money, and Terradome, amongst others, as well as his friends like Lil Varney from Lamron. Also in 2009 is when Durk would begin to get in trouble with the law, as in November, he would be arrested for vehicular hijacking. According to the police reports, an unknown person would first try and rob a woman's car by force, and as the police would later find the car in traffic near D-Town's hood, 2 men would exit the car and attempt to escape, but they would be caught. One of these men turned out to be a 17-year-old Lil Durk. According to the police, while in custody, either Durk or the other man would freely state that he had seen the car running for about 20 minutes with no one inside, so he decided to take it. However, despite this admission, it doesn't appear that Durk ever received any legal consequences from this incident. But then, only a month later in December, Durk would again be arrested, this time for criminal trespassing, as he was hanging out with 3 other people inside of a laundromat in Dog Pound's hood on 72nd and Halsted, and interestingly, Durk's gang affiliation in the arrest report would be marked incorrectly as Gangster Disciple, perhaps due to his father's affiliation with the gang being widely known amongst the Chicago Police Department. But anyway, coming into 2010, Durk was now a bona fide gang member, but he was also beginning to really focus on his rap career, and in April, he would drop his first ever music video for a song that was first titled Wasted Freestyle, rapping on the beat from Gucci Mane's classic song Wasted. However, for some reason, that same channel would then release the same music video again a few weeks later, but this time with the title Lamron Wasted. But these two are the same song. The song was stylistically very similar to Durk's earlier songs, as he was still freestyling his lyrics whilst using the Lil Wayne style auto-tune delivery. And once again, much of the song was about him shouting out the numerous other sets and members in his area, including Terradome, Young Money, his friends Lil Varney, Booney Mo, and Tracy Mo, as well as Wick City and Blackgate, among many others. According to Durk's mother, this song would be an instant hit in Chicago, motivating Durk to focus on rap and take it seriously. And only about a month later, it was followed by another music video for a song titled L's Bitch. But this time, also the Grim Reaper of Chirac himself, Lil Reese, would be in the mix, somehow having a flow and lyrics that were light years ahead of his more recent output, which was not lost on fans of Chicago drill when they would run into this video years later. Now, Durk would seemingly put much more effort into this song, finally resulting to actually writing down and thinking about his lyrics rather than simply freestyling. And the beat of the song was also much darker than his earlier tracks, foreshadowing the formation of the drill sound that was soon to follow and become huge. However, for whatever reason, he would not drop any more music during 2010, but coming into 2011, he would truly get into his bag, dropping numerous songs and music videos, including Sneak Dissin' in January, I'm a Hitter in March, which would help Durk land a radio interview on University of Chicago's WHPK 88.5. There was the track Rob Who with Lil Reese that dropped in May, a track 227K in June, which would be a diss song towards their old friends, the BBG, aka Terradome, who they apparently had a falling out with, seemingly allying with Terradome's enemy, the Kill Award, instead. Another track called Too Many Say They Drillin' with Lil Reese was posted on YouTube by none other than Chief Keef, who was also beginning to get a major buzz in the city for his music around this time as well. He would then drop the I'm a Boss freestyle in October, which would use the legendary beat from Meek Mill's song by the same name. In August, Durk would also release his first mixtape, titled after his song I'm a Hitter, hosted by DJ Twin. Durk's rap career would truly begin to flourish during 2011, the same time as the entire Chicago drill scene was beginning to pop off in the city.
Alright guys, that's it for part 1. I will see you guys in part 2. Hit the like button, subscribe, man. Come back to part 2. Yes, sir.